Okay guys, so just to show you how I'm laying this out then, I've actually cut, this is actually a piece of cereal box that I've cut, and it's a good way of getting some paper to work on that's a little bit more rigid as well. So then what I've done is I've cut it with a nice pair of scissors, so I've got really nice straight edges, and I've used a ruler. Now I've decided to put side titles on mine, which you can just see down here. You can see I've written the word Sarah, and over here what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be writing the word Graham. Now you can put your title wherever you want it to be. You could have it at the top, use a ruler though. You could have it at the bottom of your page. You could have them even going across your page if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. And then what I've also done is I've also collected a load of different wrappers. So this came, do you know, from like a posh box of biscuits, and I've just cut the main picture out. That's quite nice. I've got some Colin Caterpillar Sweeties here. This is quite nice because you've got a bit of see-through cellophane, so you can layer stuff underneath that. That could be quite interesting. I've got like a smaller image here of the biscuits. I've also got some, these quite like the silver spots on this. And then, yeah, I've got my fudge. So what I'm going to do is just decide where these things are going to go. Now, I'm not going to cover where I've got my title. I don't want to stick over the top of that. So I'm going to start thinking about how I can layer this up. So I'm going to put that there, I think. I think maybe put that there. I want to make it so that I can't see any of this grey. Now I can layer this under here, so you could see like maybe some biscuits coming through that bit of cellophane. That could look quite interesting. Just try and tuck that in so you can sort of, it's not quite filling the, see if we can fill it a little bit better. If you've got some coloured paper, you could put coloured paper in. I've got this, now I'm layering that over the top. Let's take my ruler out of it. I've got like a nice posh bit of a chocolate here, so I'm going to just cut that down slightly, and here we go, pop that quite central, quite like that. And then I want to put something like some fudge in there, quite like the text and the use of colours. Now, you can do it like this, or you could cut your packaging into circles and layer it that way. Do remember to leave your title area free though. That could go actually maybe even not quite there, but maybe over here. Maybe a bit of an angle. That could look quite nice as well. So just going to pop that where I want it to be, and then I'm going to use some glue just to glue it down in place. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to do your title. So if you remember, I said you want to use your ruler just to section off where you're going to put your title. I've put mine as a side title, and then what I've done is I've divided the thickness of the ruler into however many boxes there are letters. So you can see that the Sarah that I've done over there has neatly fit her name down there with one little box to spare, and luckily over here Graham goes in. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you how to do the first one. So the first one is obviously a G, so touching the top and touching the bottom of that box, I'm just going to put a really simple line in there just as a guide. And then what I've done with this text over here is I've kept some of it skinny and some of it a bit fatter, and I've used like a line and some felt tip pens to add some colour into that. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. So I think I'm going to have this part here is going to be skinny. I might put, because it's a straight, I might just put a bit of a thicker line in there. And because we're just working in pencil at this stage, you can make as many errors as you like. Then this section, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flatten that off there, and I'm just going to pop, there we go, thicken that up slightly so that I can add my stripy lines into that. like that. So I'm going to do the same for all of the other letters. So by staying within the lines, I've made sure that all of my letters are the same size. So I'm just going to speed it up just so you can see me putting the Graham in there, and then and then I'll stop again just to show you how to use your felt tip pens or colouring pencils if that's what you have. Okay, so to fill your title in, if you've got colouring pencils, use colouring pencils. If you have got felt tip pens, use felt tip pens. Don't use highlighter pens, they just look a bit garish. I'm not a big fan of highlighter pens, really. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the lines that I just created with my pencil, so you can see it doesn't really matter if you made any errors. And just gonna go round there, and then where you've got the thinner bits, I'm just gonna fill that in. Now it's entirely up to you how you do your text. This is just one way of doing it. There are lots of different ways, but if you just use the guidelines, that's the most important thing to do. And then I'm really lucky, I've got a bit of a posh pen. It's got sort of two ends, so I can use the other end just to put lines in. At the right angle. And if you want to, you can just colour it in, or you can put spots inside it, however you want. Now, when we do a title, we tend to try and draw on the artist as a bit of inspiration. So I've gone with quite bright colours, like my bright purple. I mean, my blue's not come out very well on the grey, but I'm working with what I've got, really. But try and think about using really bright, fun colours, just like the artist, so that your title is another expression of Sarah Graham's work. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much how I've done that. I'm going to do it for all of my other letters, and then I should have a title either side of my artist sheet.